Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to your weekly news broadcast, MoCo Resistance. My name is Harold Maldonado, giving you a big welcome to those that are trying us for the first time. Thank you for giving us a chance, and for those that follow us on a weekly basis, welcome back. Today we present you episode 41 that we have entitled County Officials Are Corrupt and Criminal. Today is May 30th, year of our Lord 2025. We would ask you to please subscribe to our channels in Rumble, YouTube, Telegram, and TikTok, and follow us in Facebook and Twitter X. But we recommend Rumble because they don't censor. Today we're going to talk about county officials are corrupt and criminal. I mean, this is not an overstatement. It's actually a fact. I mean, we've covered everything county related for a few years now, a couple of years now. And it's a proven fact that county officials, the county council, the leadership at the Board of Education, the leadership at MCPS, the leadership at the executive level are not working for us. They are corrupt, they are criminal, and they are sympathizing with criminal elements in our community. We're going to break down this episode in three parts. We're going to talk about county council and county executive are protecting criminals. Then we're going to go into why the county government hates you. And as a bonus, we're going to talk about one of the whistleblowers that came out to discuss the former county executive, Ike Leggett's $1 million bathroom. And again, welcome to the show. As always, we want to ask you to please share these episodes far and wide within your social circles, family and friends. We need this information to reach most households in the county, as an informed resident is a responsible resident. Okay, let's start. We're going to touch on the first point. County executive and county council protect criminals. As always, we're going to go into X, Twitter, to get the latest on this. Here's a tweet from Robert Dyer that says, ICE MS-13 arrest exposes Montgomery County soft on crime leadership. Really? That's an understatement. You will be in disbelief of how MoCo officials enable a gang member to remain in the county and prey on residents for 8 years. You heard that right. So this is example of this gentleman being an MS-13 gang member is only one of many hundreds and thousands of cases within our county, where the county officials say one thing to the public. They say to the public, we are here to support the police, we're here to support federal agencies and their fight against crime, but in reality what they do is the opposite. So here's an example of this continuous showcase of county officials, the council especially, protecting criminals. All right, let's get into this case. So ICE MS-13 arrest exposes Montgomery County soft on crime leadership. And it's an article written by Robert Dyer. We thank you for sharing this information. And it says, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrests 26-year-old Salvadoran national Nelson Vladimir Amaya Benitez in Gaithersburg. On May 12, 2025, the agency announced yesterday, ICE described Amaya Benitez as a validated MS-13 gang member. ICE Baltimore Acting Field Officer Director Nikita Baker blasted Montgomery County officials for not honoring 4 detainers it placed on Amaya Benitez. At times he was in custody since 2017. But what's equally astonishing is the list of crimes he committed in Montgomery County between 2017 and 2024. So, and the favorable treatment he received from Montgomery County judges and elected officials who allowed him to continue preying on the community until his arrest by ICE on Monday. So again, this proves what we've been saying in this podcast, in this show, in this channel for a long time, that the whole system, all 3 layers of government in Montgomery County are compromised. talking about the executive, the legislative, the executive, and also the judicial. So this shows again another example of why this is true. The reason why you're seeing a lot of crime in all of the areas where you live is because the county council, the executive, the judges, the legal system favor and protect criminals. And what is their purpose? We've been saying this since day one. They want to create the problem and they want to create the solution. So there's no opposition, really. I mean, they control every aspect of county government. Democrats, they've been controlling the county for over 40 years. So this is an example of why they need something. They need to create a problem in order to create the solution so they can remain in power. All right, let's continue with the article. It says Amaya Benitez already had a criminal record in Texas before he even arrived in Montgomery County in 2017. Yet, knowing this and that Amaya Benitez was in the county illegally, MoCo judges gave him incredibly light sentences. For example, in 2017, he was convicted of armed robbery in Montgomery County but received a sentence of only 18 months. In 2023, he was convicted of a theft in the county. Despite his criminal record, now including the previous armed robbery, a Montgomery County judge suspended his entire sentence. Wow. Less than a month later, Amaya Benitez was convicted of motor vehicle theft, a rogue and a vagabond, the act of breaking into or testing door handles of cars with intent to steal items inside. He then received a jail sentence of only 18 months. Let's continue. 3 days later, Amaya Benitez was convicted of second-degree malicious burning in Montgomery County. The judge in that case also sentenced him for 18 months. ICE lodged a detainer on him with the Montgomery County Detention Center on October 11, 2023, which was not honored by the county. The agency reported yesterday that Montgomery County not only prevented ICE from deporting Amaya Benitez, but released him as a free man, unknown date. So, again, this is concerning. This is a proof, yet again, of the malicious intent of your county officials. That they don't work for you, they don't work for us. But let me give you an example. If you get a traffic ticket, or you don't pay that traffic ticket or light or whatever minor traffic ticket, they're gonna hunt you down. They're gonna send you letters, call you, whatever. But this guy, he gets special treatment. Like he's another example of a Maryland man, I guess. All right, let's continue with the article. With the Montgomery County sending a clear message of minimal consequences for criminal activity and protection from deportation, Amaya Benitez was arrested and charged with attempted motor vehicle theft in Montgomery County on September 29, 2024, last year. He was convicted of that crime on April 4th of this year. What was his sentence from the Montgomery County judge? With a Bob rap sheet in front of the court. Hold on to your hats or seats, folks. 7 months and 19 days. Wow. So the judge and the county not only stopped this guy from being deported, but they protected him and letting him go before he would get arrested by ICE. Continuing with the article, if your mind isn't blown yet, Amaya Benitez never even served that light sentence. According to ICE, Montgomery County released him into the community again on April 18th, 2025, only 14 days after his conviction. So you have paid off compromised judges, you have paid off compromised county officials and police department. I gotta mention the chief. Where's the chief on all of this? I know he's against asking potential criminals for their legal status, but this is outrageous. This is what your taxpayers tax dollars are paying for. All right, let's continue. Montgomery County officials were clearly delighted to host Amaya Benitez and to allow him to prey on the residents who pay their salaries. Exactly. This case underscores yet again their soft on crime, anti-police, pro-criminal policies, which have helped sustain a violent crime wave since 2020. That is correct. On this matter alone, no Montgomery County elected official should be returned to office in 2026. Yes. So next year we have elections in the county, and we have to vote these people out. We got to vote Republican. We got to vote Republican 100%. Democrats are destroying the county. You have Don Litke from District 7. That's where I live. And she said on a call with the Taxpayer League's group, she said that Montgomery County officials are working. They obey. They work hand in hand with federal agencies, and if federal agencies request information or the arrest of an illegal or a criminal, they're happy to do so. But this shows the opposite. And again, this goes back to what I said initially in this episode, is that the officials in the county tell you one thing, they say one thing to the public, and of course they're lying, and they do other things behind their scenes. They do the opposite. So it's very concerning. And yeah, let's continue with the article. After 8 years of committing crimes against Montgomery County residents with the help of Montgomery County officials, Amaya Benitez is now in ICE custody. Thank God. Perhaps this Maryland man will receive a last-minute assist to remain in the county from Senator Chris Van Hollen or a federal judge to ensure he can once again return to the county and continue his good work. Finally, in the article, it reads, while ICE official Baker did not comment on the ridiculous light sentences Amaya Benitez received from Montgomery County judges, Baker did slam county officials for repeatedly refusing to honor the agency's detainers on him. Quote, ICE lodged 5 detainers, 4 of which were not honored, allowing him to return to the streets and reoffend time and time again, end quote. Baker said in a statement Thursday. Quote, this pattern is unacceptable. We strongly encourage our local law enforcement partners to honor our detainers to ensure that dangerous individuals like this are held accountable and removed from our communities to protect the law-abiding residents we serve, end quote. So this is what we have in the county. County is corrupt. They're protecting criminals. Literally protecting criminals. Right, let's continue. We have a tweet from Montgomery County Watch. Yes, SM Potatoes. It reads, a ridiculous generic statement, Montoya should resign, with her racist teacher friend who she's protecting. So he is retweeting a tweet from Rita Montoya that reads, over the last 24 hours, I've received hundreds of emails regarding statements made in reference to recent tragic events in the local Jewish community. MCPS is also aware of these statements. Thank you for reaching out, and please feel free to continue to do so. So Montoya is referencing the tragic events that happened to 2 Israeli embassy staffers who were assassinated outside the Jewish Museum in Washington. So this is a terrorist, Elias Rodriguez, who shot and killed Jewish couple outside the Jewish Museum. And yes, we condemn any acts of violence against any group, from any group. We are concerned that these acts of violence are going to be more frequent now because the Democrats want this to happen. They've put in policies and narratives in the minds of people through the years of mainstream media propaganda to create hate and division between people. I'm just gonna say it outright. So here's Councilmember Andrew Feetson that says, shortly after I left JHCR event with my family close by, a young couple attending event at the Capitol Jewish Museum were gunned down. I am devastated and heartbroken. My thoughts are with the victims and their families, AGC, and the entire Jewish community. And again, and what I responded was, are you devastated by the death of innocent Americans? by illegal criminals as well. So there's a pattern that I see here. We find Democrats basically being outspoken and being concerned about violence when it fits their narrative, and when it doesn't fit their narrative, they don't. So it's totally disingenuous. It's fake, and it is an insult to the victims on any side. For example, why did I respond this? Like, none of the council members showed any tweets, wrote any statements like Montoya when innocent Americans are murdered or victims of illegal criminals. So I find it very disingenuous again and hypocrite for these people to just pick their victims and that fits their narrative and start making statements. So it's all fake. All right, let's continue. We have this week we got news that the county approved the fiscal year 2026 budget of $7.6 billion, and they approved the 7.6 billion fiscal year budget and the $6 billion amendment of fiscal year 25-30 capital improvements program, which makes historic investments in public education, enhances social safety, net services, and holds the line on property income tax rates. So again, this is another play by the county government to present themselves as accountable and transparent, which they're not. And we're gonna go in next episode. We're gonna break down the budget and really tell you how they're deceiving and wasting our money in expenses that are not needed and focusing on things that are not needed. All right, let's continue. We have a tweet from Craig, son of money. So again, he says, why does tiny Tacoma Park get to have so much influence on Montgomery County politics, and then by extension the state of Maryland? It's a product of being incorporated, becoming a hive of progressive incoherence and proximity to DC-based wealth and privilege. Well, Tacoma Park, I call it the Tacoma Park cartel because it's a criminal organization. It's a political criminal organization that is extreme left, woke, progressive, you name it. So you have power brokers there who have been established. That's where Eldridge comes from, and that's where most people that are running our schools, our county, the council, and the executive come from. So it is a den of criminal activists, basically, portraying to be politicians. And we have a niche of, that's where Raskin comes from, for example. So it is a den of evil, and hopefully we can dismantle it because the information is coming out that all criminal activities will be exposed. All right, let's continue. It's a good tweet, correct? One of the tweets we made on May 12th that reads, today's May 12th, 2025, and we have information pointing to the reasons why Democrat jurisdictions support sanctuary status. It's all about the money. Democrats sold us out to the highest bidder. Montgomery County government and is all in on this. Why do you think Jawando, for example, has a mansion on a council member salary? Why do you think Eldridge and the rest of the county council want to hold onto power so much? So this is Pambandi confirms foreign shell companies funnel money to city mayors in return for migrant protection. So yes, you heard that right. Pambandi, Attorney General of the country, confirms foreign shell companies funneled money to city mayors in return for migrant protection. This is Montgomery County is part of the comprehensive plan by the globalists to destroy the country and to take full control, to make the country communist socialist. But they run into a wall, and things are going to be revealed. Now we're going to turn to our second point of the episode. and we're going to touch on county government hates you. So this is a tweet from Clean Slate MoCo that reads, number one, allow rates to rise and become unaffordable for all. Talking about the electric bills, water bills, etc. Offer a program to help. And 3, get reelected. So Clean Slate MoCo is reposting on a tweet from Evan Glass, where he says, are your electric and gas or water bills piling up? So again, we told you that Democrats, especially the ones that we have in the county, don't have any imposition. They control the whole government, the whole county, but they need something to, they need a position, and so they create a problem. And for in this case, they approved, they allowed Pepco to raise electric bills. They allowed the water company WSSC to raise our water bills. They allowed other utilities like gas to raise our gas bills. And so they present, they create the problem. They present a solution. Hey, and they say, hey, I'm helping you. You gotta vote for me. So this is a great example of how Marxists operate around the world, and in every country that they've garnered power: Cuba, old Soviet Union, China, Nicaragua, Bolivia, in other parts of the country, Vietnam as well. So join us, he says, join us on a Zoom this Wednesday at 7 p.m. to discuss financial assistance available to pay your utilities. So the county council hates you, and we're going to talk about that now. On the same note, we have a tweet from Brenda Diaz that reads, and there are more increases planned for 2026, all brought to you by an inept and corrupt General Assembly and Governor. So Maryland struggles with ongoing energy rate increases. BGE raised rates on January 1, increasing the average residential gas bill by 9%, the electric bill by 7%, and some customers say even larger jumps, with winter bills climbing by more than $200. So if you live in Maryland, especially in Montgomery County, you know your bills, your electric bills, your gas bills, and your water bills have been increasing significantly in the last 6 months. So this is being done on purpose. This is being done on purpose because they want you to leave the county. The county wants to buy land and properties, and so they can create their smart cities. And if you don't know what a smart city is, I suggest you start researching that term, smart cities, by the UN. It's part of the UN 2030 agenda, and Montgomery County Council and all its 11 members are full in on this, in addition to the executive, Mark Eldridge. And what are residents saying about Evan Glass and his hypocrite attempt to save the day by providing assistance to people who are having issues with utility bills? Well, they're saying, oh, the endless grift, the gift that keeps on giving. Yes, but only for certain classes of people. And this is a response by one of our residents. It says, outrageous. They are all responsible for this. And now they hold a gas lighting special to talk people down and pretend they will help? Seriously, who are the low IQ people that this works on? No financial program can fix this. They purposely made all of this more expensive, and now they hate the consequences of people starting to notice. Keep it going. Let it get more expensive so we can get an overwhelming number of on the left to hold these people accountable. Correct. Dying for retires tweets. Wait, what? Financial assistance? My bleep bleep. That assistance is just our tax dollars. These politicians created the problem by chasing out coal and nuclear power. And their solution is and always will be for us to pay more in taxes, fees, and charges. Time to go. See? People are already waking up in the county. And we showed in previous episodes that Governor Moore and the Maryland state Democrats have closed down power plants on purpose, so they could push higher prices and they could price people out of their homes. Continuing, we have a last tweet from Sam Tennyson. We don't need another taxpayer-funded benefit program. We need to fire up all coal and nuclear power plants. Correct, sir. Or ma'am. Increase supply and prices drop. Economics 101. I'm unsure why Democrats can't understand simple supply and demand economics. Yes, but it doesn't appear any of them can. No, sir, madam. The county council is made up of political activists. They have no training, no experience in the private sector, and they have zero knowledge of economics. And this is breaking. We have a tweet from Clean Slate MoCo that touches on the first point that we made about the illegal that was protected by county council and county officials and judges. And it reads, can you please provide a link to the policy? Montgomery County has stated consistently that we cooperate with ICE in cases involving individuals convicted of violent crimes, verified gang members, drug distributors, and traffickers, and other felony convictions. That policy remains in place. So the county is in damage control. This is a press release from Monday. And it reads, a statement from the Montgomery County Department of Correction and Rehabilitation's Director Ben Stevenson on ICE arrest announcement. On May 15th, 2025, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, issued a press release regarding the arrest of an individual with a previous felony conviction and known gang affiliation. After reviewing the circumstances of this case, we have determined that there was an error on our end regarding the receipt and processing of this ICE detainer request. I would understand 1, 2 errors, but multiple errors? Right, let's continue. By our policy under Executive Order 135-19, the Montgomery County Department of Correction and Rehabilitation should have notified ICE prior to this individual's release. This individual met the criteria we used to notify and coordinate with ICE due to a prior felony conviction and validated gang membership in the DOCR records. We failed to make this notification. We take full responsibility for this error. Too late. You're on damage control. People are already fed up with you. The whole Montgomery County government is compromised, and we have yet to get information on what's going on in the air park. So we have to investigate, and we have whistleblowers coming out of the woodwork, and we will have more information on the nefarious and financial mismanagement that's going on in the Montgomery Village / Gaithersburg Air Park. So we'll continue to update you on that. But here's a proof of how corrupt and criminal our county government is. Okay, for our last point today, we'll talk about Ike Leggett's $1 million bathroom debacle. So, and this guy has had a building, if I'm not mistaken, in the county named after him, the Ike Leggett's council building, I believe. So here we go. We're calling all the information coming from whistleblowers MoCo files. In this case, we have former county executive Ike Leggett, $1 million personal bathroom during his first term. So we've had whistleblowers continue to step forward to shed light into the current and past corruption in our county offices. In this case, we have former and current county staff from the Division of Risk Management from the Montgomery County Finance Department have shared information as to the $1 million spent on former county executive Leggett's bathroom. Details: Leggett ordered the $1 million to be used to build his bathroom, and no gold or other precious metals used. Expense verified by staff from the Risk Management Office along the Safety and Compliance Office. Overpriced projects are the key hallmark of corrupt governments that are on the take. So I don't know. This was back in 2007. So what this revelation shows, yet another example of the financial mismanagement that has been going on in the county government for years. Leggett was another member of the corrupt and criminal Democratic political establishment who was inflating his bathroom construction, most certainly to shave some off for himself and his criminal associates. That is correct. We currently have discussions on budget figures for FY26, and the writing's on the wall. So this is information that all residents should keep in mind. Democrats at the council executive offices are wasting our tax dollars and destroying our finance. Yes, this gentleman who is presented to the public as a all goody two shoes, accountable, responsible, honorable man isn't. I'm not surprised. And this type of activities only happens in corrupt governments where contracts are inflated. I mean, you've seen all the information coming out of Doge, where government offices actually had contracts or overinflated contracts to pay off vendors who were legal, illegal, non-existent, etc., etc. So this is a way to launder money. This is a way to pay kickbacks at all levels. And this is why you see a county executive not running for another term, but he's running for at-large county council position. So that's an example of how these people are so drunk on power that they will do anything to hold on power. So this has been episode 41. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward to talking to the tax people in the county so they can give us more information on the insights on the taxes, and yeah, we'll continue the fight. We'll continue to provide you with information you're not going to find anywhere. You're not going to find at any local news sources. You're not going to find in anything relevant in any Spanish, English-speaking news sources locally, because they are bought and paid for by the DNC. They are bought and paid for by the Democrat Party in Montgomery County, and as you know, it's not the DNC anymore, as the MS-DNC, the MS-13 DNC. All right, we thank you again for watching us this week. We'll get back to you shortly on more news as it comes through our screen. Yeah, this has been MoCo Resistance in the trenches, giving you the latest on what's going on in the county. Join us. Join the resistance.